Right now, somewhere, a CTO is staring at a whiteboard trying to redesign their engineering org. They watched the same video you did. They heard the same advice. Restructure. But restructure into what, exactly? That's the part nobody actually explains. OpenAI shipped an entire Android app with just 4 engineers. 4, not a prototype, a production app. The old model isn't just inefficient anymore. It's economically indefensible, and yet most companies are frozen. Because knowing you need to change and knowing how to change are completely different problems. Think about what a proxy actually means. Someone who clicks buttons but never learns why. AMD's AI director analyzed nearly 7,000 coding sessions with Claude and found it getting, quote, dumber and lazier over time. Now imagine building your entire junior workforce around a tool with that trajectory. When those juniors never learn to debug, never learn to architect, never learn to say, this design will break at scale, you don't just lose entry-level coders. You lose the pipeline that creates your future senior engineers, your future architects, your future CTOs. That's not a hiring problem. That's an extinction event for engineering leadership. DevOps Toolkit told you what to change. But watching that video as a CTO, you hit a wall. No org chart, no role definitions, no timeline, just the word restructure, repeated like it's self-explanatory. That's like a doctor saying, get healthier, and walking out of the room. So we built what they skipped, 3 models that real engineering leaders are actually deploying right now. Each one reshapes your team differently, carries different trade-offs, and fits different company sizes. The question isn't whether to restructure. It's which of these 3 paths matches the team you already have. What makes this actually work isn't just fewer people. It's a fundamental shift in what those people spend their time doing. In a traditional team of 8, most of the day goes to coordination. Stand-ups, code reviews, waiting on pull requests, explaining context to the person who just joined. Cut that team to 3 seniors who already have deep system knowledge, and you eliminate most of that overhead overnight. But here's the part DevOps Toolkit skipped entirely. Someone has to feed the AI the right context. That's not a side task you bolt onto an engineer's existing job. OpenAI shipped their Sora Android app with just 4 engineers. 4. But that only works when someone is deliberately structuring what the AI sees, the codebase architecture, the constraints, the edge cases it needs to handle. Without that, you get code that looks right in the pull request and breaks in production. AMD's AI director actually tracked this. Across nearly 7,000 sessions, Claude Code's output quality wasn't stable. It got, quote, dumber and lazier over time. So the context engineer isn't optional. They're the quality control layer between the AI's raw output and what actually ships. And that Microsoft number on screen, that strategic work percentage, only holds when someone is actively managing AI context. Without it, your seniors spend their day debugging machine-generated code instead of designing systems. The pod model works, but only if you staff it correctly. Notice the quote on screen. An engineer saying if the results are wrong, it means they're wrong. That's not humility, that's a structural failure. Right now, when AI generates broken code, there's no organizational process to catch it. The engineer who wrote the prompt is also the one reviewing the outputs. That's like asking a student to grade their own exam. And here's why that's dangerous at scale. Remember, AI is now writing 41% of code globally. That means nearly half your codebase was produced by a machine. And the same person who asked for it is the only one checking whether it works. Mistakes don't surface as loud failures. They surface as subtle bugs that pass code review because they look correct. They compile. They even pass basic tests. But 6 months later, you're debugging logic that no human actually thought through. The review layer fixes this by creating a completely separate function. One group prompts, a different group verifies. Neither one carries the full blame alone. Think of it like how aviation works. Pilots fly the plane, but a separate crew handles pre-flight safety checks. Nobody thinks that's inefficient. They think that's how you prevent crashes. For engineering leaders, this also solves a hiring problem. Those junior developers who aren't writing code anymore, this is their new career path. they become AI quality engineers, people trained specifically to read, test, and challenge machine-generated output. You're not eliminating the junior pipeline, you're redirecting it. Most companies facing this pressure make the same mistake. They see AI writing 41% of code globally and think the answer is simple: stop hiring juniors. But that thinking has a 5-year consequence nobody models on a spreadsheet. CS enrollment already dropped 6%. If every company freezes junior hiring simultaneously, who becomes your senior engineer in 2029? That matrix on screen isn't charity, it's survival math. When a junior shifts from writing code to verifying AI output, they're building something more valuable than syntax knowledge. They're learning how machines fail. They're developing judgment that no AI tool can replicate, the instinct for when something looks correct but isn't. And that skill becomes the foundation for everything above it on that chart. Now the vendor piece, community feedback already flags this. Teams are hitting walls because their AI coding tools only work with specific models or specific editors. Imagine restructuring your entire engineering org around a tool, and then that tool's quality degrades. AMD's AI director reported exactly this, analyzing nearly 7,000 sessions and finding their primary AI coding tool getting, quote, dumber and lazier over time. If your org chart depends on one vendor's reliability, you don't have a restructuring plan. You have a single point of failure wearing a strategy costume. Build the roles to be tool agnostic from day one. The timeline on screen is your blueprint. But here's what makes each phase actually work. Month 1 isn't just paperwork. You're figuring out which engineers already think in systems and which ones still measure their value in lines of code. That gap determines everything. Month 2 is where most companies fail. They pilot with their strongest team, see great results, then assume it scales. It won't. Pilot with an average team. If an amplified pod only works with your best people, you don't have a model, you have an exception. And month 3, that decision point matters more than people realize. OpenAI shipped Sora's Android app with just 4 engineers. But your company isn't OpenAI. If the pilot shows your legacy systems and compliance requirements eat the productivity gains, that's not failure, that's data. Course correct. One more thing the screen hints at but deserves emphasis. Teams under 5 people should skip this entirely. The coordination cost of restructuring a small team exceeds any AI productivity gain. Start by just giving them better tools and measuring what changes. Save the org chart surgery for when you actually have enough people to reorganize. Thank you for staying through all of this. Seriously. Most people click away the moment restructuring gets complicated, but you didn't, because you're the kind of leader who actually follows through. Here's what makes that audit so powerful. When AMD's AI director analyzed nearly 7,000 coding sessions, they found tool quality isn't stable. It fluctuates. So the team you build has to be resilient enough to adapt when the tools shift underneath them. That audit reveals who on your team can adapt and who needs support first. One honest conversation this week sets the foundation for everything else. The full written guide is linked in the description. If this helped, like and subscribe. We're building something here.